Do you know the name Adol Christin? Ah, Adol Christin. From the time he left his homeland at age 16 to the final years of his life, he surrendered each and every day of his existence to fate, wandering the world in search of his next adventure. His exploits have been meticulously chronicled in over 100 volumes of personal travelogue, detailing where he'd been, what he learned, and what he accomplished thereat. These are not tall tales, but factual accounts. Each volume is comprised of a simple, honest assessment of events, with an emotional detachment that affords the reader a certain degree of personal interpretation. Yet, despite Adol's dry and humble candor, all who read of these brave new worlds, these exotic landscapes and encounters, come away from the experience deeply affected. Indeed, it is as if the reader is right there with him, feeling just as he must have felt. The events I shall now recount took place a mere 3 years after Adol Christin set out on his first adventure. Collectively, these accounts are known as the Felghana Archives. I invite you to take up Adol's sword as if it were your own, and allow yourself to become immersed within his words. Imagine if you were he.
Hello, good evening, konbanwa, and how's it going for you? I do hope you've been having a good day so far. For me, it have actually been a good day. So today I was at a job interview, and I do hope I get something out of it. But it's actually looking quite promising. But it's not exactly, but it's not a full-time job because when I think I should be thinking of that one more as a temporary job till I actually find a full-time job. But that aside, so a new week is now upon us. So how have your weekend been? For me, it's actually been a good weekend for me. And like I told you, so I was at the Diego's for a bit yesterday, and I actually quite enjoyed it there. So, well, if you wanna see some pictures from Diego's you do have my Instagram, which you can find at my socials. And do you have any plans for the week? For me, well, as you saw in my schedule, so this will be the only theme this week. Since at Wednesday I will be heading to Spain, so starting from Wednesday, or definitely tomorrow, so will I go for a 1 week hiatus. But that aside, I do hope you will all be enjoying yourself during my hiatus. Anyway, so today we're gonna be playing some Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. But before we do that, so today I'm 97% Pony, and I'm also 43% delicious. And well, I can't really think of anything else to talk about that, so just give me a little bit and I shall get the game going. So last time at the Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, so did we continue with episode 5, Date with Yeol, and we managed to expose the fact that and we haven't solved the case yet, but we have managed to prove that it wasn't the Toke that killed the Inca, because it was but we also learned that the Toke is actually not alive anymore, since Inca killed the Toke, and then he asked Maya to take and then he asked Maya to take he asked Maya to take Toke's soul, so she could meet Apollo. I mean, because he wanted to see Apollo before he passed on, and he also wanted to make sure that Kuei sees a better day before he moves on. And just as we was gonna get to the truth of who killed Inca, så det Amaya get the sword, so she have been taken to the hospital, and with this we gonna keep going here. So yeah. That was a bit longer, yeah, than usual, but it was actually. But that's only because there was actually. Oops. I must have forgotten the last time. But yes. When it was a longer than usual, yeah, but that was only because there was actually a lot that happened the last time. But this is just a ghost feeling of mine, but I'm getting the feeling that we might actually be able to wrap it up today. But that we will see. Let's see if we can finish this or not today. So let the deal continue. Because I do have an objection. But yeah, we didn't exactly end it on a happy note last time. But like always, I did a little recap, but I will go more in depth now, like I always do before a deal. So we have the Adonis page like usual, and then we have a photo of Apollo's father, Justin, who got stabbed during the fire. And has Incas Artus Fireport, Minister Incas Artus Fireport, time of death, May 18, approximately 3 p.m. Cause of death, blood loss from the stab wound in his back. And then we have a diagram of the tomb, and we know that the dog's body is inside the sarcophagus. And I will show you why we know this later. And has the crime foot of Inca's death. So has the gun Inca was holding and which he used to kill Toke. And then when he got killed, he was speaking on the phone himself. And when he was speaking on the phone, so that maybe, we don't know for certain yet, but maybe Kyle was the one that stabbed him during that time. And then we have the gemstone, which was dropped in the ashes or in the incense ashes. And then we also have the pink butterfly pendant. The blue one belongs to Toke, while the pink one belongs to Amaya. And inside it, you can find a photo of Toke and Amaya during the younger days. And then we have some bloodstained photos, which actually belongs to Toke, and is from the time when Inca saw the Toke and killed him. And this is the painkiller sauce that Inca take for his back pain. And because the Inca have this cognitive disability that makes him unable to see the face of others, so he can only recognize others by other means. Inca's nudes, Naina, purple hat, glasses, diamond-shaped tattoo on forehead, Toke, long hair, eye pads, blue clothes, Phoenix White, spiky hair, blue clothes, pink necktie. And then we have a photo of Amaya filmed 23 years ago. And with this one being taken after the fire and when the DC Act became a thing, we noticed because of the emblem. And then we have a Sanilin photo. So first we thought it was that it was Kayan that was Sanilin hair. But now we know that it was actually Amaya that was doing the Sanilin. And we also have Alpi's statement of what happened at Ion 2. The time when Inca got killed. Alpi's statement at Ion 2 p.m. That slipped out of a Passan manhole, got yelled at by a dog and a warpath, and then they have a firecracker. The shocked look on Alpi's face had touched in stitches when the police came along and detained the rebel. The noises broke the Sadu, who ran off. When Alpi caught up to him in the courtyard, Sadu had what looked to be Naina's hat. And then we have the files of Amaya's assassination. So at page 1 we have all the info about the arson. The arson incident involving Amaya's private residence. Amaya was left a sleeping pill and perished in the fire. Except for the fact that she barely managed to get away. The lighter found at the scene had Toke's fingerprints on it. And then on page 20, we have info about how Apollo's father got killed. Apollo's young Mexican father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. He was struck in the head by the culprit. The victim's passport and early pictures of him were burned up in the fire. Without knowing his name, no divination science could be performed. Actually, we know his name and face, but we have yet to perform a divination science with him. But I think it will soon become time for that, because I do feel like we will finally be tossing this incident today. And then at page 34 we have info about how things was for Naruto. As the son of the Deoyu Toke, Naruto was expelled from the Ural family. The idea that the sins of the father are visited upon his children is deeply rooted in the minds of the Guyanese people. And yet he managed to get so far. And here we have Toke's love book, which includes the one about the DC Act, the Defense Culpability Act, In the name of High Eminence, those who want to support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. Well, at least for Inca's motive, so is that no longer a void. Because we have managed, without a doubt, managed to prove that Toge didn't kill Inca. And then we have Toge's base with Naruto never confiscated. And we also have the Fountain's Orb, with the tools of the face of the Fountain too. And the Queen knows the yellow name. And has the corpse photo of Toge, which proves that he is no longer alive, sadly. And then for everyone involved in the case, we have Joseph White who's waiting for us back home. And then we have Athena Sykes who is in the gallery. And we have also Phoenix Wright who is oversight the kick this time around. And then we have Naruto who is the persecutor and the currently the sidekick of Kayan's sidekick right now for this case. And then we have Togesat Marty, who is, or should I rather say was, the main suspect of this case, and he is no longer with us. And then we have Dots, and he have issues. And also Emma Sky, the forensic investigator. And Miles Edgeworth, the civil prosecutor, who also helped us a lot during this case. And then we have Maya Fey, who actually is the reason we have. And then we have Inca, who is and then we have Inca, who is the victim for this case, but he is also the one that killed the Toge. So he is both the victim and the killer of this case. Or I should rather say one among the killers of the case. Because there are actually two killers in this case, potentiality. And then we have Jaifa, Kayan's and Inca's daughter. And also the one that does the divination science. And I forgot to mention, Maya is able to channel spirits, albeit the same is true for Kayan and Amaya. And Kayan is also the queen and grand priestess of Kuyain. And she is temporarily the persecutor too for this case. And she might potentially be the one that killed Inca. And then we have Nina, who she was attended, but she's actually Amaya. And then we have Albi, who was the witness for what happened around the time of the murder. And then we also have Amaya, Naruto's mother. and also and also the previous queen, and she is currently at the hospital since she did get shot at the end of the last stream. Anyway, that's enough recapping, so let's keep going here. May 19, High Court of Kuyoin, a ghost lobby. We lucky the ambulance made it in time. Yeah. Let's hope that Amaya will survive this. But we've been forced into a recess for no well things get straightened out. Yeah. I know that this was done to silence Amaya because we don't whether or not it was Kayan, if Kayan wanted this or not, we don't say of a thought. This was done to silence Amaya. I can't believe what just happened. Honestly, same here. I didn't expect someone to get shot during that year. Tell me about it. Yeah, I don't think anyone saw it coming, honestly. Do you think Kayan put that card up to it? Well, it is possible, but at the same time, something tells me that it wasn't Kayan's idea. If she did, she's going to regret it. Yeah, but I'm having my doubts about that, so I'm not gonna jump to conclusions just yet. No one gets away with something like that on my watch. Poor Queen Amaya. You benevolence? Any news on her condition? She's undergoing surgery at the hospital as we speak. They are giving her a 50-50 chance of survival though. A 50-50? Well, in that case, all we can do is pray that luck will be on her side. That guy, justice will be solved. Apollo, what did I used to say about jumping to conclusions? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amaya. Wait, what do you mean with reunited? Shouldn't this be the first time you meet Amaya as Amaya? What was that about being reunited? Oh, it's nothing. Okay. Yeah. How are you, Hornhead? Took that Martin was your father in all but blood after all. Well, it wasn't easy to get over it, but it is something we used to have to accept because we can't change the fact that he is dead. Thank you for your concern, you benevolence. But I'm fine. Right now, we still have a year to see you. So that's what I'm going to stay focused on. That's right. That's what the dog would want you to do too. So go to your old man Piotr now. Hornhead, you are started and you stay to let's on. You don't overdo it. Okay, Apollo. Okay, that was a yell soccer. Alright? Yeah. Okay, so that's a didn't know neither. Can't believe that Jakon is dead. That's say, I was wondering when Token disappeared after I feed him. That's because Amaya turned back into herself, right? Well, I would like to assume that that was the reason, yes? Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know if it was because the dog's spirit willed it. Well, let's not get hung up on that. Or if it was a part of Kayan or Amaya's plan. Hard to say actually. Man, over Team of Evolution. Now what are we gonna do? Is this it? Knowing Toke, he won't tell you all to keep going. Don't give up yet. There is a very good chance that the Kayan is the real culprit in all this. And if we can prove her guilt in court. Hey, you're right. That's going to be just the person we need. That Yib lives on. Yes, it does. You know what that means, eh? The fate of the revolution, yes, the skull on your shoulders. Yeah, the battle has been passed on to you now. Hehe, Alina days work. Att vara kittin. That's a turn of a pjäser. But this is what Oke gave his life for, so I have to do this for him. Now that's the spirit. The honorable Jebel Toke Satmati. I would have loved to have spoken with him while he yet lived. Yelly. Oh, so now you're finally starting to respect him. Why not? I mean, he seemed like quite an interesting man. Did she bump her head or something earlier? You thinking too much into it, Apollo? The deal is supposed to assume the defense is to report to the courtroom at once. So it's time to continue then. Already, after what just happened, the first thing Kayan will do is respond to that last accusation. Yeah. Because it's very glad that we suspect her. So you'd better stay on your toes, Apollo. Of course I will. I will, Mr. White. Yet or not, Kayan, here comes justice. So let's do it. May 19. High Court of Kuroin. Wait. I used to notice that Naruto wasn't there. Could it be that Naruto is at the hospital with Amaya? No then, let us assume today's proceedings. Huh? Okay, what's with the silence? Yeah, it seems like I'm right. Naruto might be at the hospital too. This is no surprise because he was the one that seemed to take it the hardest when it happened. Where's Naruto? I must offer my apologies. I never imagined a dual guardsman would do such a thing. Well, we don't know yet whether you speaking the truth or not. And I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. What? He wasn't acting on the new orders? How dare you cast those suspicions upon Her Eminence? It is quite alright, Your Majesty. Suspicion is only natural under such circumstances. But yet I saw that he acted alone, for I know nothing of his plans. Well, I really need to get to the bottom of this. If you speak in the truth, then that's good. And if you're not, then you're gonna be in for it. I don't believe that for a second. No then, Your Majesty, you got in the body of my husband, Minister Inga. I would like to offer a new possibility. A new possibility? A new possibility, you say? Indeed, for during the break, the yellow killer confessed to me. Oh, interesting. What? Balif, call the witness to the stand. The yellow killer confessed? What's the god up has lived this time? Yeah, no, this is strange because I thought it was that we was gonna say that it was the Guardian, but I have a really bad feeling about this. Yeah, so who is it? Wait, Naruto? Why are you on the witness stand, Naruto? He's the one who confessed? Okay, yeah, this one doesn't really make any sense for me. Like, how would Naruto even be able to do that? It literally makes no sense for him. Well, let's hear what Naruto have to say. Prosecutor Satmati, you the Yell Killer. I questioned him during the SS, as I felt that Amaya had been going for someone. So it was that he finally confessed his crime to me. Naruto, you didn't really do it, did you? Please tell me it wasn't you. Her Eminence speaks the truth. It was I who killed Justice Minister Inca. Naruto! And yet I have a hard time believing it. And I'm not just saying that because, but with all the evidence and so is the reason I say that. Bis! Musical de Satmati! I absolutely certain about this. A confession of this nature is grave indeed. Yes, I am certain. For I killed him by my own hand. At last, the Yale killer has been revealed. How are we supposed to respond to this? Yeah, one of the hardest things to do are to prove that someone isn't a killer if they themselves claims to be. Naruto, yet your confession? No! Mr. Justice, it is not yet time for your cross-examination. Who cares about that? Admit it, it was Queen Karen who put you up to this. She forced you into giving a confession, didn't she? You are out of line, Mr. Justice. Lonesome self-restraint. But I'm sorry, Apollo, but it is as Naruto says. Or do you have something that might prove that I did not commit this murder? That is... What do you think you're doing, you idiot? Okay, when Apollo calmed down, truly, the truth can set us free. Looks like Karen got to him somehow. Yeah, I don't know how she managed to do it this time. I definitely didn't see this coming. Same here. Naruto, why are you doing this? Why won't you sacrifice even your life to Kayan's beating? Whatever the case might be. Musical to Satmati, your testimony, please. Yeah. Let us hold you testimony. And if what you're saying is a lie about you being the killer, then there should be actually quite a lot of contradictions that can be found. Naruto's confession. I could not remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. It was I who murdered Justice Minister Inga. He had to die for the food of Kuroin. I consider it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch. My murder was simply going for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake. Well, Naruto, you didn't actually explain how you killed Inca. So that in itself makes your testimony questionable. You do understand what you're doing, right, Naruto? You sentencing yourself to death if you found guilty. If that is the court's verdict, then so be it. I must obey the law above all else. The law, Naruto, or the queen. Enough! This plot has nothing to do with the witness testimony. Please address any issues you might have during the cross-examination, defense. Oh, I will. I'm going to blow his problematic testimony to smithereens. Yeah, his testimony was questionable at best. So I do actually have lots of issues with it. Naruto's confession. I could not remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. Hold it! You kept quiet all this time, even though you were the Yell killer? Yes, and I accept that what I have done can never be forgiven. But I never imagined suspicion would fall upon the queen herself. Beautiful Saatmati has placed the foot of our kingdom above his own life. He is taking responsibility for his crime and dissolving his loyalty to Queen and the country. Into the monarch on the throne, Kuroin would be plunged into chaos. I could never restart upon my homeland. That is why I had to let the truth be known. What a bones of a Paloni! I'm going to ask you again, Naruto. Did you really kill Minister Inga? Yes. No matter how many times you ask, Mr. Eustace, the truth is immutable. It was I who murdered Eustace Minister Inga. Hold it! It's not too late. You can still retract your confession before the verdict is rendered. There is no yet in the truth. One either tells it or does not tell it. It is that simple. Ugh! Why do you always have to be so stupid, Naruto? And not even at the worst way possible? I hate how you never listen to reason once you get like this. I think we need some evidence before we can get him to retract his confession. Either that or we'll have to force a retraction out of him by appealing to what's in his heart. Right, you say there's something good there. It's not going to be easy either way. Musical Saatmati, what was the motive for your crime? I had reason enough to kill Minister Inga. He had to die for the duty of Kuroin. Hold it! And the Khan was saying the same. What do you mean by that? Mr. Inga was planning to assassinate Her Eminence in a coup d'etat. Yeah, that much I know is a fact. I had to nip this evil in the bud Even if it cost me the purity of my soul. So you think the death of another is a reasonable price to pay to protect the Queen? Long have you remained independent upon the authority of our spirit medium queens? We command the people's servant respect with the power to command with the dead. Without such a monarch, our kingdom would lose its standing in the world. Well, that's actually true for now. But if spirit channeling is so important, why did you have Queen Amaya perform the rite? I'm afraid my elder sister is quite capricious. She would fulfill her duty only when the desired job, as poetic as that was. It was, therefore, something she did on a whim. There was no meaning behind it. I wonder how much of that is the truth. A meaningless whim? It's hard to base a statement like that. Now, if I might get on to my testimony. Yeah, go ahead. Consider Tavine yachtsmen cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch. Hold it! Tavine yachtsmen? Yes, I handed judgment upon the minister on behalf of the Holy Mother. Are you saying the Holy Mother guided you? No, Her Holiness would never condone killing in her name, regardless of circumstances. As such, I believe my defiled soul will be damned to hell, but I do not regret what I have done. I willingly sacrificed my soul to protect this kingdom's future. Oh, snap out of it already, Naruto! So his motive comes from a place of faith, huh? Why does that sound completely credible when it's coming from him? Well, Amaya expressed a smiling motive. Yeah, she actually did. As for her mercifulness, she is truly deserving of her title. My mother was simply going for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake. Hold it! So you get Minister Inca and Queen Amaya stays the guy? Is that how it went? Precisely. My mother is as clever as she is kind. She sought to conceal my crime by taking all of the guilt upon herself. Yet another lie. I need to poke a hole in his testimony, but how? Well, before I think about what I want to go for, so yet another artifact is coming up now, so we're gonna go be right back and I'll see you in 3 minutes.
生きてるその意味を探し続けるそれが生きることさきっと理不尽で矛盾だらけの世の中へこんだりくじけたりもするさだけどただ不満数えていたって思うように変わることはないさ泣きたくなった夜は涙がれるまで泣こう壁にぶち当たる時は別の道行けばいいからいつかは尽きる命だから今を諦めずにあがけ生きてるその意味を探し続けるそれが生きることさきっと
Alright, I'm back now, so what I want is, didn't you know where Naina was? You didn't realize that Naina was actually Queen Amaya, your own mother? That is not as strange as you might think. Most time had passed since we last met after all. Right, 23 years ago was it? Yeah, when you was still used a kid. When Doge saved her after the supposed assassination attempt. No, Mr. Eustace. It was 15 years ago that Doge abducted my mother. Huh? That's bad. Yeah, it is. That one was actually strange. Are you sorry about that? I remember it clearly. I was around 10 years old at that time. Okay. Now, please add that last statement to your testimony. Yeah, that one was interesting. I was reunited with my mother, Queen Amaya, 15 years ago when Doge abducted her. Hold it! 15 years ago, huh? That's around the time I left for the US. What happened after Doge helped the Queen Amaya escape? Accounts of the crown pursued us relentlessly, so we had to live a life on their own. Mr. Eustace, no, the Doge sent you away so that you would not be caught up in that life we led. So that's the reason. I see. Thanks. I can't believe it's been 15 years. Apollo, there's something about Nauta's testimony. I know, I find it a bit strange too. Yeah, that discrepancy is a bit hard to miss. But what could it mean? So now that's going to meet his mother back when Toge yes could have. That's what he's saying. It needs to meet off. I had already been sent away by that point. Okay, now that I've taken more testimony out of him, what can I do with it? Well, for starters, I wanna see if I can hold what he say on that other one. So, would it be possible for me to make him change his last statement? Let's see. Well, could it be that you told Amaya what to do? Did you tell Queen Amaya to do what she did? No, she acted on her own volition. She must have somehow discovered my crime and then staged the crime scene. Well, it does sound possible indeed. Sounds plausible on the surface, but I'm not buying it. Still, I don't think we'll get anywhere if I press the issue. Well, in that case, I think I'm gonna focus on this one then. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, this is actually a hard one. I'm suspecting it might be this, but also this. Well, I'm gonna start with this one, so objection! Okay, I was right about the first one. You saying that Toge made off with Queen Amaya 15 years ago? But that's strange, because I heard something very different from Toge. He said that they ran off together 23 years ago. Yeah, that was I'm certain of too. That is impossible. Could it be that you don't know of this photo? I know for a fact it was 15 years ago. Well, I have evidence that contradicts your statement. How do you explain this photo? Toge said it was taken 23 years ago. He said that. He did, yes. He did, but if we take what you used to say as a fact, then there's something in this photo that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the baby to be specific. This isn't making any sense to me, so I suppose I should ask. What does not make any sense if the photo is only 15 years old? Well, that's actually easy. What doesn't make sense is the baby hair. So, take that. Now that this discrepancy might not be directly related to the case, but I don't think we can simply overlook it either. Dock say the baby in the photo was you. Yeah, that he did very much. But that doesn't make any sense if the photo's only 15 years old. Very do. After all, you said you were around 10 then, right? He's definitely sweating bullets over there or over something. Yeah, that he certainly is. Apollo, if this baby isn't Naruto... Okay, the values, well I mean... It is certainly a possibility, because I mean, Toki didn't explicitly say it was Naruto. All he said was that it wasn't Apollo. Wait, you don't think? Did Queen Amaya have another salt väl se vad sånt är John? Apollo! Of all the ideas in your head, why did you come to that conclusion? What? And just what if that child were being held hostage? Well, that is certainly a possibility that I can't deny. Naruto, is that why you obey Queen Kayan's every command? You presume too much? And that's why Queen Amaya was trying to take the Yap as well. To protect this old child. A child born 15 years ago. They would have to be someone who's around 14 or 15 years old now. And if I consider what the Yaifa said, is it possible that Yaifa is Naruto's younger sister? This is used a good, but I believe I know someone who fits the bill. This also explains the strange behavior. This is the child who was born to Token Queen Amaya 15 years ago. Yeah. So, like I used to say, I'm starting to believe that it might actually be Yaifa. So take that. All those strange statements she kept making, now they all make sense. Hang on, I'm just gonna open the window quickly. That's better. Mr. Curtis Satmati, may I ask you something? Of course, you benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amaya and about me? From where did the whole source a thing? Your mother, and only yesterday Jaifa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her what the truth really was. For it is open to a murder to discipline her child. I see. I cannot accept this. Is something the matter, you benevolence? Queen Amaya is lying. It makes no sense. Queen Amaya would not have killed my father. Yeah, I did find it strange how she was protecting Amaya. Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally united. Oh, Queen Amaya. And now it all makes sense. Now I see, Naruto. Why you do what you told? It seems like we was spot on. The other side upon the token Queen Amaya. Mr. Eustace, I believe what you are about to say, but I cannot allow you to name an innocent soul as the child of terrible sinners. I thought you might try to stop me. After all, simply revealing this information and enters who you have been trying to protect. Yeah, that was it too, but it is something that have to be done. Ugh. I think this should make it clear what I'm talking about. This is the sink in your armor. The reason why you fell for your siblings' repetition. Let's see if I can figure out the reason. Okay, I'm gonna. Actually, I believe the reason for that is in the files. So take that. And that is a file full of information that Donkey collected on what happened 23 years ago. Of a particular note, the item of is was written here at page 34. The sins of the father are visited upon his children. This deeply held idea is why you were expelled from the Ural family. Which means it wouldn't bode well for your sibling either. If she were revealed to be Doge's daughter. Yeah, that seems to be the case indeed. You became a persecutor to Pinkerton Twin Guardian, but at some point, you came to show the very regiment you despised. And that was because the Queen found this thing in your armor. That's how she came to use your sister against you. Jaifa? Naruto, have you been keeping this secret all this time? Have you been trying to protect me? That he have. You are an innocent party to all this. I live only to safeguard the law and solve the county and queen from which it flows. One such as you who is destined to askant to the tune, need not fret over one such as I. No, I cannot accept that. What you say is... It's Malagay. Don't you ever care what happens to you? A forgotten queen, love, and everyone's future. My personal feelings are of no consequence. You keep saying that, Naruto, but are you really sorry about that? That is why I assigned myself to my fate. I know I must accept the status quo without any thoughts of change. Are you absolutely sure? Spoken like a true persecutor and a patriot, I shall continue to use Kuroin until the day Yaifa succeeds me. For that is what is best for our kingdom. I know, Your Eminence. This is no small sacrifice, but I promise you this. In exchange for your life, the child shall remain safe, and the kingdom shall prosper. That is all I can ask for you with my meager existence. Naruto, is this really the need you? I don't think so. You're signing yourself to the will of another and killing any hope you held for the future? No! The Naruto I never would never let himself be turned into this. Yeah, we have to keep fighting. No, Your Majesty, if you would hand on your wedding. Not yet, Naruto, not yet. You can say you're simply accepting your fate, Naruto. But I know that deep down there is still hope in your heart. Oh, Holy Mother, preserve me. It's the kind of hope that preserves you for the most desperate of times. And it's what binds you, me, and Toge together as a family. I know, because this has demonstrated to me that you hadn't lost all hope yet. Yeah, it's the one thing that you couldn't remove from Toge even if you saw it die. So, take that! When you interrogated Toge, you confiscated all of his possessions as a potential evidence, all except this. Yeah, his base was the only one you didn't take. Did he take you Adonis' base too? No, I thought it strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. And I do think I know why. Because you used the content stand doing that. So tell me, Naruto, why didn't you take his baits? You got a path to take it from him, called you. And I know why. It's because these baits mean something to you, special to you. Hey Toge, why do you still wear your baits? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This space is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream, not until my very last breath. Att jag never yields, right? Exactly. Nauta. Apollo. I want to restore Korean's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. You might say you were given up, but that's not how it really is it? You never gave up, and you never will, because you still believe that all of the wrongs will be right someday, don't you? Yeah, knowing you, that might actually beat you. You are very perceptive, Mr. Eustace. It might very well be as you say. Why did I not confiscate these spades? Confiscate these spades? Even I did not know until now. So you mean to say that it might very well be you then? Perhaps. I was waiting for him to save me. Save you? Yes, save me. So you wanted the Toge to save you then? Well, since the Toge can't save you anymore, we'll be saving you instead. Like he did on that day. Naruto! Apollo! Hold on! I'm coming! What father would risk his life to save his own children? Naruto, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me, understand? Someday, he will come and free our family from the saints of the past. Perhaps, deep down, that is what I believe. I believe in Toge, our father. Naruto, I know you. However, it was but a team. And now that team has died. No, Naruto, it is still alive. Murdered, along with the Toge. Yes, but remember that the team have been passed along, so the team is very much still alive. So now, as the eldest, the responsibility falls squarely on me. No matter the cost, I must protect her. Please, try to understand, Apollo. Understand why I shall bear all this sin. It is the only way. But... Kayan? You have wasted more than enough of my time, Lavia. Do you not see the futility of your desperate flaunting? The immutability of his duty? It is time to accept defeat. Not yet. Ugh! Now, what does the how many of you this comes down upon you that beauty? You majesty, the verdict, if you will. Yes, your eminence. Not yet. Wait a second. What do I do? Is the defense wish to Jason objection? Used to say yes, Apollo. There's got to be some way to say no, though. Apollo, it all goes back to that incident 23 years ago. That it certainly does. It's Benedict, the son of a criminal. So if we got once and for all prove that the Doge didn't try to assassinate Amaya, yeah, now that I was thought they would no longer be tried as a criminal. But I thought there wasn't any evidence left. Well, there is the one evidence we haven't explored yet. Because it was all destroyed in the fire. Apollo, are you sorry about that? Aren't you forgetting something? The Doge investigated the matter for years, but never managed to learn anything new. Actually, Apollo, you're beyond. Really? Nothing at all? Got an exceptional lawyer like Doge, I thought long and really uncovered nothing at all. He had overthrew the gates, Apollo. Huh? He's right. I thought Doge would return to his gate without discovering something new. He must have secretly planted something to topple Kayan with somewhere. Take another look at the evidence. You just might find what we need to take out of this situation within that. I mean, I already know what you're talking about, right? Got it? If the defense is done stalling for time, I shall now enter my verdict. No, wait! Upon the assassination attempt 23 years ago, the defense has some new information it would like to say. You do? Well, we had intended to deliberate that case in the course of this deal. Doge, did you leave something behind for me? Is there some connection I'm missing here? Very well then. What is the source of your new information about the case from 23 years ago? I was correct. I had a feeling we was finally gonna touch upon this today. And now it's finally time, so take that! A photograph? Yes, do you recall the traveling musician who died in that fire 23 years ago? How could anyone forget such a painful chapter in our history? The poor fellow was caught up in the place that was meant for Queen Amaya. We never knew his identity though, as his belongings were bound to access. Well, that's not entirely true. Well, about that, the truth is, he was my biological father. Oh? What? So not even you know, huh? Why, of course, with his photo and her benevolence. Exactly. we might be able to prove Toke completely innocent. And that what we have from the infamy of having criminal blood in her veins. And at the same time, it will also free you. Because Hank och jag we can witness the final memories of the dead. This is what I was actually hoping for. What utter nonsense! So it's finally time. There was no evidence left in the wake of that place. That's what you think. But Toke went to the ends of the earth to bring this little souvenir back for us. He did? Yeah, and let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Yep, and boy is it the best piece of evidence ever. He knelt that with it. We'd finally be able to conclusively set the matter here in court and to save his children. Your Majesty, the defense requests that we hold a divination seance for this new victim. What a waste of time! The events of 23 years past have already been deliberated at length. But at that time you couldn't perform the divination seance. But wasn't Toke on trial for that incident as well today? So we won't be doing our jobs if we failed to look into this new lead, won't we? As the presiding judge, I will now share my thoughts on the matter. The attempted assassination of Queen Amaya is a case we can ill afford to leave open. And I believe that the final memories of the victim will prove to be very important. Therefore, it is the opinion of this court that we should conduct another divination seance. So there you have it, my queen. By you benevolence. Yeah, it's up to you now, Yaifa. If you learn the full name of the victim seen in this photo, you'd be able to perform a divination seance, right? Of course, leave it to me. Well, as it so happens, we also know his name. Thank you. My father's full name is Eustace Aliai. So, here we go with another divination seance then. Now, you benevolence, please commence your divination seance when you are ready. It is time.
始祖様の名のもとに御霊の託戦の儀式を執り行う。皆の者、目を開き耳を傾けよ。今奉納の舞をもって被害者の御霊を呼び戻さん。解くと見よ。水鏡に映し出されし最後の記憶を。
Yeah, this is the one I was looking forward to. Because this will give us the conclusive evidence that we need so we can finally get to the bottom of it all. and to put an end to it all and to prove once and for all that Toke is innocent. And who is the actual culprit? So yeah, I'm sorry, Kayan, but you're not gonna get what you want, even if you are the queen. I've actually been looking forward to this. Okay, here we go now. So, let's see now what happened when you used this was killed. Bonin, hit, crying, pain, metallic sound. Oh. Okay, that last bit was very interesting with that light there. That light actually caught my interest. The spirit of the victim has counted Osa Wintov into his final moments. It was a bad divination science was a success. I think I could actually make something out of this, but let's see what is. But let's see first how I interpreted this. So those were my father's final moments. That baby we saw must have been you, Apollo. Yeah, I would think so too. I will not deceive the experience in the East. Are you ready, Hornhead? Go right ahead. Yes, please proceed. Very well, here are my interpretations of the facts as gleaned from the science reason. Let's hoy then. Jaifa's inside. Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Abaya by setting her residence ablaze. Hornhead's father happened to stop by and was knocked out by the assassin. Toge's fingerprints were discovered on the light found at the scene of the crime. That is how he was determined to be the assassin. Hornhead's father tried to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. That is everything the kid experienced in his final moments. My father's final memories. They right here for everyone to see, but can any of them unlock the truth behind what happened 23 years ago? Well, that's up to us. So let's get to it someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amaya by setting her residence ablaze. So let's see her. Let's see. Let's see then. Hon has the father happened to stop by and was knocked out by the assassin. Let's see. Is it just me or Turkish fingerprints were discovered on the lighter found at the scene of the crime? You know, I'm starting to think something. I just noticed one thing at the mirror reflection. I do wonder. That is how he was determined to be the assassin. Well, I think we might have been wrong about the lighter, actually. If it is what I think it is. Hon has fought to try to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. But I think I know what I wanted to go for now. Yeah, I do think I have a good idea actually what I should go for. I did notice something that is strange. So I need to prepare to pause when I see it. So I need to wait her. Okay, there we go. I think I wanna go for this actually. So, objection! Let's see if I'm right. Turkish fingerprints were discovered on the lighter that was found at the crime scene. However, yeah, but it wasn't the one that caused the fire. The hand holding the lighter in the scene's vision appears to be closed. Yeah, so it couldn't have been that one. I believe you are right. What could this mean? Well, it means that Toke have indeed been tossing that lighter, but that lighter wasn't the one that caused the fire. It calls into question whether the hand in the vision really was Toke's. If only we could make out the details a little better. Very well, I will attempt to focus a bit more on what the key is to solve. Perhaps that will help you find the CN's vision. Well, let's hope so then. Actually, no, he was very close, but the color is different. So let's see now. Yeah, oh, hello? It looks like... Why does it look like Inka's hand? It actually looks like Ink. Could it be that it was Inka that set it on fire? It did seem that there was a glove on that hand. That one was actually quite big for me. Still, what significance could that have? For me, this actually does mean a lot. So Inka was a famous dog after all. It means that Doge's fingerprints got on the lighter at some other time. Somebody could have even put them there after the fire. All you have is a poor speculation. Well, the fact remains that they are his fingerprints. Therefore, it stands to reason that Doge was the one who used the lighter. I'm not gonna deny that. It just means I have to prove that the figure in the vision is someone else. Using the information in my father's final memories. Either way, it seems that I must revise my insights. But if someone had put his pins on the lighter after the fact, then we know not to whom it belongs. Hon has a father tried to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. Okay, she's updated her insights. Time to go over them and see if there are any new inconsistencies to be found. So let's continue then. Let's see her. Yeah. Actually, do you think we believe who it might belong to? So I'm actually gonna go back to this again. So, objection! Wait, then this means that the Yale culprit is... The figure in this vision is clearly not Tucker. The distinctive band I wanted to use gives the true identity away. Ah! That is right. It can't be. So, you noticed it too? This will prove used whose hand was captured in the science vision. Yeah. Before I do that, let me say. So, take that. That photo, so you do believe the culprit to be? So you did come to the same conclusion as me? Justice Minister Inka had the gloves with the exact same pattern on them. You referring to the corpse of justice, correct? That I am. Yes, I heard they are the additional part of a Guyanese Justice Minister's attire. But what does this tell us? We know that Doge didn't have it, so it tells us that the figure in the vision is none other than Guyan's late Minister of Justice, Inka Kalkul Guyan. No, Not my fault, eh? So he plotted the assassination of the former queen as well as the current one. Justice Minister Inga, så den Togges innocent of both sources. The defiant dragon, det var been jag all along. Nauta, what's wrong? This, now that I thought to be good for you too. Nauta. What you have proposed is not possible, Apollo. And what makes you say that? For back then, Inga Kakulkuoin was not the Minister of Justice. Wait, jag inte taas korrekt. At that time, was it either Kajan that was the Minister of Justice? Wait. So you trying to tell me that it was Kajan? What? The Justice Minister 22 years ago was... You, Queen Kajan? Wait. So could it be... Was you the one that did it? What? Oh yeah, she served as the Minister of Justice before succeeding the throne. I could see also persecuted the assassination attempt 23 years ago as one. So then, the figure in this reason is actually... Yeah, it very well might be Kajan. Your Eminence, it's you, isn't it? Say something. This is madness. Why would Her Eminence do such a thing? Because she would ascend to the throne. Yeah, it would only benefit her. She wanted to usurp the throne from her sister, Amaya. That's why she tried to assassinate her. That is the most likely reason. Anyway, but before we continue with that, so yet another artifact is coming up now. So we're gonna go be right back and I see you in 3 minutes. Alrighty, I'm back now, so let's continue here. I find this all very hard to swallow. Your Eminence, are you the one responsible for tearing my family apart? And was it you who killed my father? Well, Your Eminence, I'm asking you a question. I wanna hear it from you. Peasants always carrying on about the things of no import. And what exactly do you mean with that? You do not deny it then. You concealed the truth and used me for your own designs. Oh Naruto, spare me you feeble-minded line of questioning. I will talk glad of all sources. It shall still be I who decides I face the fate. You do wish for her to be queen someday, do you not? You would not. Remember, the salt lives only by my good graces. No, kneel before me and fulfill your end of the bargain by offering me your head. So that's how it is. Well, don't worry, Naruto. She won't be getting your head. Your Eminence, I am done heeding your commands. That's what I wanted to hear. Even as you used my sister against me, I still believed you. I believed that protecting your secrets was in the best interest of this kingdom. But you have been deceiving me all the while. Naruto! Naruto, you dare defy me? Your Eminence, I can turn the order sick no more. Therefore, I hereby reject my confession in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. No, that's exactly what I wanted to hear, Naruto. Reject, you say? Okay, the final piece of evidence you left behind was exactly what we needed. Has released Naruto from his orphan. Yeah, you actually did manage to save Naruto too. And now, he's finally free. So I was right that it was on your hand. In all this time, not once did I reflect on my own conduct, for I had believed all was fate. Lost in my own sense of resignation, I was unable to wake from my despair. But you, Apollo, you have awakened me with your demonstration of our father's gift. And there we go.
竜は屈せず
Dat säger jag till Naruto att jag kunde never yields. I will carry on Toke's legacy and fulfill his dream. For me, Kayan, I will cast you down from your bloody throne. Long live the revolution! No, that's more like it. Insolent fool! No även djupt låna på revolution! Would you look at that? Well, Apollo, it seems we're finally making some headway on the youth that took out for us. Yeah. We can finally put an end to all of this. And by that, I mean an end to this journey. Yeah. Now, if we could use the pure Kayan skill, we could continue on down that youth towards the evolution to get him off. Your Eminence, you have been accused of the crime committed 23 years ago. Would you like to say anything in your defense? Not so fast, Your Majesty, for the Goof's gold have been stolen and used without by noblets. So you see, they can hardly be considered proof of anything. Why? I believe you're right. But we know she's skeleton. Yeah. Both of Inca's water and the fire. Well, Lavia, is there any other evidence you would have me your food? Unfortunately, this food was the last piece of evidence Toke left for me. So as far as evidence go, I've got nothing else regarding that case from the past. However, now the prosecutor that Marty has yet accepted his confession, we'll have to yet alleviate the current case from scratch. Yeah, because now we no longer have to consider the possibility that Amaya was covering up. Yes, the defense speaks the truth. Even though it is clear who the guilty party is. Yeah, it could only be you, Kayan. Queen Kayan, the defense accuses you of the murder of Justice Minister Inca Kakul Kuyain. But do you have any evidence, defense? Evidence that will prove Kayan was the killer? There's still one more avenue for us to explore, Mr. Justice. There is Minister Inca's final memories. In them, the minister's killer posed as Toke. Therefore, one must ask, how did the killer dispose of the disguise? Yes, that is a good question actually. How did they do it? Hey, you're right. A lot of blood was spotted onto the killer. So the blood-soaked clothes would have to have been dealt with somehow. Yeah, that was it actually too. If they still are on the somewhere, then I was wondering what absurd idea you want to concoct next. Clothing can be disposed of most anywhere. I thought you could find them now. And you don't know us very well. You benevolence? Yes. On the day of your father's murder, you had been watching the courtyard from 2 p.m. No, during that time, you saw Queen Gaia, did you not? Oh yeah, you did say that you did. Yes, I did. I saw my birthday entering the palace from the courtyard. But I was told not to mention it because it had nothing to do with my father's murder. So you did see her during the time of the murder? Yaifa! You wanted all that! And the queen headed into the palace. Did she have Dorcas' clothes in her possession? No, she did not. So, maybe she disposed of them somewhere in the courtyard? It is a possibility. The police did a thorough sweep of the area following the crime, but they did not find anything resembling Dorcas' clothes. But you know that already, didn't you, persecutor? Yes, I admit no clothing was found. Heh, so you admit that you were merely speculating, chasing phantoms and illusions of evidence that never existed? This makes no sense. Clothing doesn't use disappear like that. I do wonder if that could be the case. And by that, I'm talking about this. Was Lottie say that she used to put it back on the docket before she left? If Kyle wasn't carrying any clothes, she must have gotten rid of them somewhere. Somewhere where she thought they'd never be found. Where they'd never be found, huh? I believe Dorcas' clothes were hidden here. Yeah, I actually believe that they hidden inside the tomb, so take that! The tomb? You believe the clothing was hidden there? That I do. Yes, it's the only place it can be. Very well. Where in the tomb do you believe the clothes were hidden? Well, the answer to that is actually easy, so take that! Of course, that makes perfect sense! The clothes weren't simply hidden, they were yet turned to where they belong. Oh! Yeah, that was a nice attempt at fooling me. And by that, you mean... The killer would have had to get Dorcas' clothes from somewhere. Luckily, they were right there. Yes, of course. At the time of the minister's murder, Dorcas' body was already in the sarcophagus, so the killer could have simply borrowed his clothes. Right? Before the minister entered the tomb, the killer put on Dorcas' clothes and then hid behind the curtain above the sarcophagus. And after the minister was killed, Toke's clothes were yet onto his body. So what? This is still all speculation. We know not whether those clothes were actually used in the murder. Therefore, you cannot prove that they are somehow connected to this case. Are you sorry about that? That's where you're wrong, but I believe you already know that. These clothes were definitely used during the minister's murder because of this. Yeah, wait. Wait. What am I supposed to look at? I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed. Okay, I don't really know what I'm supposed to look at, but... Okay, you didn't make it easy for me, actually. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be looking at here. So I'm just gonna take a wild guess now. Take that. Okay, oh yeah. Take that! So I was right. The blood stains on Toke's chest are not of the result of being shot by the minister. However, that doesn't explain everything. There is also some blood spatter extending from his left elbow to his abdominal area. I believe this blood splatter came from... Yeah, it might actually be Inka's blood, I believe. So, take that! If the killer wore these clothes during the murder, then the blood spatter must have come from Minister Inka. I had thought it was all Toke's, but that makes sense. Only one way to be sort of. Let's get those stains analyzed right away. Yeah, Emma, that's your job. Indeed. This might be the conclusive evidence we need to prove the Queen's guilt. You cannot prove it was I who hid those clothes. They could very well have been hidden by a third party. But could they really? Yeah, I do wonder. I'd say the possibility of someone other than Gayan hiding their clothes. Yeah, I don't think it was possible at all, actually. No, it's just not possible. Your Eminence, I recall you saying the following. The key to Amaya's sarcophagus is under the protection of the Yuval family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it won't be impossible for some knave to open it. Yeah. So we can say that so we can safely rule out the possibility of it being someone else. Oh, that was your own testimony, word for word. Why, you insolent! Admit it. You stod Alieti. Only you got behind and took his clothes after they were used in the border. And that means you are the only one. And that means you are the one who killed Justice Minister Inga. Insignificant wound. You dare accuse me, the Yule of Kuyain, did not think for one moment. That shows impotence with Peter yet. I'm afraid those arguments are invalid here in this circuit hall, your eminence, because even monarchs aren't above the law. It's the end of the line for you, Queen Kayan. Time to come down from that lofty throne and face justice. Yeah, are you ready to give up? Because there's nothing else you can do. So, is it finally over? Uh-oh, I don't like that laugh. Me? Face justice? Sorry, you yes. You are in no position to force my hand, love ya? Oh? Sorry you haven't forgotten about the Defense Culpability Act. Yes, what about it? Those who won't support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, should I be convicted of murdering my husband? You debuted who delivered false testimony in my defense. You wanted fucking that? Shall also be found guilty. You wanted fucking that? What? That can't be, can it? By delivering false testimony in the course of protecting a guilty party. He would certainly be judged by this court as having supported a criminal. And the Defense Culpability Act would most definitely come into play. Okay. So, if we have to somehow make it so that love is no longer a thing now. But that love is so pure that anyone can be convicted on it. When it comes to the DC Act, even I am conflicted. And yet, as it currently stands, it is the love of the land. And as you said earlier, no one is above the law. Of all the absurd things I've seen, this law really takes the cake. Yeah. How are we supposed to do it now? We can't take Naruto along. No, but what can we even do at this point? You need not look so forlorn. talk has been cleared of all sources. So let us leave all thoughts of the Yell Killer and the evolution in the past where it belongs. But that's the last thing I wanna do. She wants also to use to let her off scot free. And yet, I don't see any other source. No, we cannot yield to her yet, Apollo. If it will move the evolution forward, I will gladly face the DC Act. No, do it! Accuse Queen Gaia of the crime she has committed. But I'm not sure if that's what I want. What you speak of is not the evolution of a kingdom will not function without its sovereign. And Jaifa cannot ascend to the throne, for she is as yet incapable of channeling spirits. Thus, to accuse me is to wish destruction upon our fair kingdom, you terrorist. Terrorist? If you would still insist on accusing me, then as the sovereign of Kuyain, I proclaim the following. Oh, you wanted that? Alvo Imperial the Crown, no matter the reason, shall be subject to immediate execution upon the Queen's orders. Now that's the most ridiculous law I've ever seen. What? Immediate execution? Do you still not comprehend? Then let me be clear. For the sake of this kingdom's further, and in accordance with the laws of Kuyain, I command that you be put to death at once. Okay, this is really bad. If there isn't a way to make her get the throne, ha 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 ha. Isn't it going a bit too far? Why is the guy on your coat? They will on standby in case of an attack by foolishly optimistic terrorists. Now if you will continue to oppose me, the very embodiment of the law, then on the magical authority, you shall all be put to death. Okay, what is that we can even do here? I literally can't think of anything to do now. Oh, come on, this is insane, even for you. You can possibly get away with something like this. This is a court of law. You can't install the over execution without due process. Now look, Apollo, duty and due process are certainly important, but so is your life, so think before you speak again. Yeah, very true. We have to be careful now. But please, Apollo, do not make this any worse than it already is. I cannot lose you to the Twilight Realm too. What am I supposed to do? How do I win against an opponent that can deviate the law as she sees fit? How can I ever think how to use this? Is this really how it all ends? It is your life or your accusation, Lavia. You cannot hope for both. It is time to case this insanity. What do I do? Should I accost the Queen Kayan? Well, I'm gonna do it regardless. I know what I have to do. Mr. White, you know that saying you constantly reminding me and Athena of? The worst of times I when Lavius have to force their biggest smiles. You never fail to surprise me, Apollo. And now, you know that kid we've known ever since we were kids? Att jag kunde never yields? Apollo? Yeah. Love is the time. They are not merely words. They are what carried us this far. So now, it's time to honor their words and the memories of the ones who gave them to us. I could not give it you more, Apollo. Those words are more important to me than you know. And if there's any time to remember them, it's now. Yeah, it would seem, Apollo, that not one but two auspicious creatures that dwell deep within you, a fierce dragon and a beauteous phoenix that shall scatter the clouds hide in the heavens. I shall join you in your death defying bluff. I think I finally understand what those yelling mean, and they assault the embody. So have we gone now? Are you smiling? Have little face of a certain doom? Is there no end to your defiance? Unfortunately for you, no. I won't let fear or even the love force me to abandon the pursuit of truth, because there is another saying in my country, the truth will set you free. Indeed, that is precisely what the doctor sought to do to this deal. He wished for us to break free from a certainty by Isabel Spider's immobilizing silk deeds. We want to be intimidated by unused laws or giving to fear. But only the dude like that is just not a part of my playbook. There's only one part before us. Revolution. The time to make Tokyo's team a reality is upon us. Your Eminence, if you are the love her inquiring, then your very existence is wrong. Yeah, there isn't just one person that embodies the love. The students be bleeding, no end. I know it's a bit late to ask, but what's the plan? The plan is that I have no fucking plan. Well, if Carl is going to execute us on the spot under the Defense Culpability Act, and the law itself derives its power from the authority of the crown, then there's only one thing to do. Beat the throne här, right now. But how are we gonna do that? Alright, but how? It's not like we have a lot of time to come up with a way to do it either. I don't still allow you to perform another cross-examination while we think. Don't worry, I'll come up with something. We'll be fine. We can't give up. Not now. We have to keep on fighting to the end. We can't allow the broken deals to go on. It's time to make things right. Well then. So, if I accuse the Kayan, Naruto will be subject to the Defense Culpability Act, which means he will be put to death in accordance with the law. So the only way out of this is to detain Kayan right now. So this will be the key to detaining Kayan. The Fountains Up might actually be it. Is the Fountains Up the key to the evolution? Toge was convinced that the Up is the key to the evolution and the Kurai is the future. In light of Kayan's obsession with the Up, it makes a large amount of sense. She probably doesn't want anyone using it to gain spiritual powers and yikes to the throne. Inga definitely tried to do use that, but that's where it starts to fall apart. Inga couldn't have selling the phone even after abducting Mr. Spade. After all, he didn't even know the fountain's name. Inga didn't know the fountain's name. The name of the fountain is only known to those who become queen. That means the only people who currently know her name are Kayan and Amaya. So even if someone else had the Up, they wouldn't be able to channel the fountain. So that begs the question, why is Kayan so fixated on the Up? Okay, let's not overthink this. Kayan is obsessed with the Up because could it be that Kayan isn't actually able to channel spirits? Kayan wants a spiritual power. Could it be? It's hard to believe, but it also makes sense. If she wants spiritual power, does that mean Kayan can't channel spirits? And in that sense, it also means that she doesn't even have the right to sit on the throne in the first place. That would explain why she had Amaya perform the rite of channeling. Is that why she let Amaya live? To stand in for her when the time came to channel spirits? So, if the Kayan can't channel spirits, yeah, she doesn't have the right to sit on the throne. Kayan has no claim to the throne. Now that's what we need. Kayan's Defense Culpability Act was established under the Crown's authority. Yeah. And if it is to be found out that Kayan doesn't even have any spiritual powers, then it all becomes null and invalid. But if she has no claim to the throne, then the DC Act would become null and void. No, not use the DC Act. All of the insane laws she's enacted will be swept away in one fell swoop. So there we go. You claim the authority of the crown. You, of all people. That's a good one. Have you duly lost it, Lavia? Indeed. I would have the defense explain himself at once. As you wish then. It's easy, your majesty. Why is the Queen Kayan so obsessed with the Fontes Op? Why did she let the Queen Amaya leave? And why was she having her most foolish perform the rite of Sanilin in her place? The answers to these three questions point to a single conclusion. A fact that will shake this kingdom to its very core. I still do not follow, Apollo. Well, you will soon. Your Eminence, I have just one question for you. And please be honest. You can't actually silence spirit, can you? What? You believe the Queen is not capable of communing with the dead? Well, we have never actually seen her done that now, have we? The defense will explain himself at once. In Kuyain, the ability to silence spirits is an absolute requirement for a world to be queen. But your Eminence, if you were incapable of doing that, then you'd have no claim to the throne. Not only that, but every law you were passed would be rendered null and void. And the same goes for the law of sciences. And you, the Kayan you are God, you seem to be yachted and armored with the Queen's supposed spiritual power. But what if she had none? What if she were just an ordinary person? A pretender to the throne? That's crazy thought! Impossible! Everyone knows only spirit mediums can become queen. Such a blasphemy. On what grounds do you make such a defamatory claim? Queen Kayan? You know, Kayan, there is a very easy way for you to prove that you actually have. If you could channel a spirit at this very moment, it's that simple. That's all you have to do. Channel a spirit. Queen Kayan, if you think I'm just out to defame you, then prove it. Prove it using this piece of evidence you want so badly. Yeah. Take that. The conditions for summoning the Fonte should be in place. With the orb, we know what the Fonte looks like. And as Queen, you should know the Fonte's name. I'm waiting. Now, if you want, your Eminence, please don't the greatest spiritual power you bear as Grand Priestess of Kuyain. Oh, du witness her Eminence. Oh, to witness her Eminence great power with our own eyes. The Holy Mother will appear before us. Oh, create miracle of miracles. Praise be, your eminence, my you mighty spiritual power. So was the way. I'm waiting. Hello, hello, I say, you mindless creatines. What's the hold up? They're waiting for you. You eminence? Can it be that you cannot? No, I thought I love you. Someone at once. Well, Kajan, you the love you have. Aren't you forgetting something? There aren't any lawyers left in Kuyain. You can thank your Defense Culpability Act for that. Oh! You eminence! You eminence! Please give us a glimpse of your magnificent spiritual power. Summon her holiness, so see my guide us. I have heard all from you, out of my sight, all of you. If you truly are capable of ascending in spirits, then get on with it already, you eminence. You sneaky, underhanded. Underhanded. Have years coming from you. Yes, of a love, yeah? That reminds me. You said something to this effect earlier. It is time to kiss this insanity. Don't you feel stupid for saying that now? Indeed, of all the things she has said, I can think of nothing more ridiculous. Well, all the insanity are gonna end with her. Apollo, is this deceitful pretty queen a lesson she won't soon forget? I was planning to. Gladly, because it really is the time to case this insanity. Kajan, you reign of terror ends here. Well said. Very well. Demonstrated my. Oh. Wait. She's actually gonna do it? Wait, don't tell me she can actually do it. Wait. Is it? Nothing is happening. You doing it all wrong? That's not the way it works. You doing it all wrong? No, you used to say random stuff. So, it's finally over. Anyway, use Tangle. Tangle. Very well. Demonstrating my facility as a spirit medium is simple enough. Behold the magnificent power to command with the dead. Oh, you eminence! Okay, spirit of the fountain which dwells in the twilight realm, hit the secret covenant of the orb, and appear here before us. Oh, here it comes. Hig. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? Hig. Oh, spirit of the fountain, grace us with your sacred presence. The time is now. I beseech you. Appear before us. Heed my call. Fountain, please. Oh. No, wait. I was just warming up. The heat actually starts from now. Look. Holy mother. Well, we have finally exposed the fake queen. Prosecutor Salt Marty, how is Her Eminence? It seems she now believes that she herself is the Holy Mother. Yeah, well, she failed. That much I can say. I see. But her attempt at spirit sending failed, did it not? Yes, it did. Sadly, she seems unable to accept the facts. I fear it will be quite a challenge to question her later. And what, if I might ask, was her motive? I understand that she killed Minister Inca in order to prevent his coup d'etat. But what of her attempt to assassinate Queen Amaya 23 years ago? Well, I can easily think of one to become queen herself. Maybe she used to create the power and attention. She likely developed a physiological complex from her inability to channel spirits. That is why she kept Queen Amaya alive to perform the rite of channeling for her. In that way, it won't seem as if she had created spiritual power. In short, she built a cult of a personality upon fire and life. Then again, to not all giants. It is as you say. So then, she never really intended to kill Amaya, huh? Exactly. What I don't understand is why Queen Amaya even listened to Kayan in the first place. Especially 14 years ago, before Yaifa was being held hostage. Why would she keep letting the people of Kuyan think she was dead? Well, she kept quietly performing the rite of channeling for Kayan. Mötesagenter sur by natur inte låtsas sista ärlig. Som en gajantot här till Hypecostoken was alltid to kill her. She believed it. So that's why. What's more, she did not wish to tarnish the name of her beloved sister. That is why she acquiesced so obediently to Kayan's request to keep a standing for her. Until she fled with Toki and was told the truth, that is. So that's what happened. And since Yaifa was being held captive, I Mason Amaya had no choice but to help cover up the truth behind Inka's murder. Yeah, her case was the same as Nauta's. Yeah, living secretly as Yaifa's servant, Naina. No thought only deepened her love for her daughter. She did do anything to keep her safe. All the more reason to hide the painful truth from her. Well, that was a case for the aces. Anyway, so before we get to putting an end to this case, yet another art break is coming up now. So we're gonna go be right back and I see you in 3 minutes.
映したたとえつまずいてもたとえ傷ついても飛び立とう風翼にして To belong to me all my life 星は光響き合う空の彼方まで胸高鳴るその先に冒険が待っている「
Okay, I'm back now. So let's put an end to this whole facade. Prosecutor Satmati has been cleared of all suspicion in the murder of Minister Inga, as has Mr. Toki Satmati in the assassination attempt on Queen Amaya. Now then, I think it is high time I handed on my verdict on Toke and Naruto Satmati. Not guilty. It's finally over. And the false queen is finally gone. So let's hope Amaya survives. Toke, I hope you're watching. I proved your innocence. Naruto's smiling again. And that evolution you were always dreamed of is finally happening. With this, may I finally say, this court is adjourned. And with this, the DC Act is no longer a thing. May 19, High Court of Kuyoin, a ghost lobby. Way to go, Apollo! I was on the edge of my seat when those guards stormed the courtroom. That was our soccer, alright. Can't imagine anything like that happening back home. Yeah, Kuyoin really is something else. I know, right? I was ready to go on down there and teach them a lesson myself. Really? I was barely able to hold her back. Wait, Yelly? Hold me back? You were about to go ballistic after a while there, Athena. Yeah, I can imagine that actually. Yeah, well, I was thinking about helping you smack a few of them down, to be honest. Remind me to never say or do anything to dissolve Amaya Athena double suplex. You did a fine job out there today, Apollo. Thanks for all the great advice, Mr. White. Nah, it was all you. That perseverance and never say die attitude you showed was impressive. I actually learned a thing or two myself. What? From me? That's a lot. There were any number of times where I wouldn't have blamed you for giving up, but you stuck it all to the end and came away triumphant. By sea force of will and endless and forcing countless trials, you overcame the most desperate and hopeless situation I've ever seen. I don't know about all that. I mean it. You really come a long way, Apollo. I have nothing but respect for your abilities as an attorney. Really? Aren't you exaggerating just a little bit, Mr. White? Nah, White was actually ready to give up there. You did it, Apollo. You finally won his seal of approval. But what about me, Nick? My analysts come a long way too. After all, I was themed toward the end offer to be used in the true Biocrime Salienti. Yeah, and true Bioscience said for me to become someone for you this channel next. Honestly, I couldn't have done this without the support of each and every person here. Hang on, let me open the window. Okay, I'm back. No, I'm back, Mr. White, Athena, Naruto, and of course, Docker. That was pretty cool, Polly. Oh, wait. Josie, what are you doing here? Josie? Josie, what are you doing here? It's magic. I'm afraid she employed the old. I'm afraid she employed the old. Let's stow away in Mr. Edgeworth's suitcase, Dick. Yeah, that's something she's able to do. What? It certainly explained why my suitcase was so heavy. Tell me you at least noticed it was heavier than usual. Josie, do you even have a passport? Okay, what's with the silence? My magic band is an extra-dimensional space. It's like a mini universe in that. I could produce a passport at the top of my hat. Yeah. Maybe something in this world are better left a mystery. Yeah. Whole head, bobbed head. I'm forever in your debt for what you've accomplished in this Hall of Justice. Without your presence, I might have never changed as I have this day. It's pathetic, I know. That's where you belong, you benevolence. It was you who changed yourself. Only you got the suits to defy Gaia. That was it too. And that decision was used and used alone. That's right. All we did was present you with an opportunity. And you made use of it with gusto. This victory is yours, you benevolence. You sought to be proud of yourself. I see. So I'm worthy of my title after all. I shall work to heal our kingdom so that it might know peace and prosperity once more. She stole Bones back quick. So your benevolence, I take it you learned the truth of your origins. Yeah. Win thought you were Naruto's little sister and Amaya's and the Toge's daughter. That you are the daughter of Toge and Queen Amaya. Yes, my mother. I mean, Her Eminence told me. She said it was a part of my disciplining, if you can call it that. Sounds more like blackmail. Yeah, now I finally get why you was that way. keep quiet or I'll tell everyone you're the daughter of a criminal. My mother was so insufferable. Or so they say, my former mother. Sounds like there was no love lost there. But you glad the daughter's name. My dear father will no longer be known as a criminal. Therefore, I have nothing more to fear. Yeah. You have applied the fruit or no? So what's next for the kingdom of Kurian? I mean, you lose to your queen, so... Her benevolence, Princess Raifa will ascend to the throne. Will start? Oh, Naruto? Naruto? But she can't ascend spirits yet, right? Indeed. This is why I will act as second on her behalf. Well, do. Unlike Kayan, so does Raifa actually have a spirit power. The day she comes into her own. Yes, your help will be greatly appreciated, Persecuted Son. Oi. Is she going to say what I think she is? Yeah, I do believe so. What are you looking at? You horn-headed nincompoop? Oh, Apollo. In any event, I will be assisted by Naruto and the Queen Amaya for the time being. Oh, so Amaya did survive. Queen Amaya, overcounting offers a console to the rulers of Neverpoint Kingdoms to Sanelin. It is a duty I intend to fulfill myself one day. But for now, I will have Queen Amaya assist me in the capacity. So then, she's going to be alright? Yes, it seems the bullet went straight through her without doing any serious damage. No, that's actually great news. That's a relief. You did it, you? Thanks to you, both Toki and Naruto beat the sources against him. And jag got the evolution ruling to boot. Yeah, it was a great success. The evolution. Okay. I consider you to believe in me after all. Yes, sir. There's gonna be some Mario changes around here. The legal system's gonna get onto its rightful state. Like how Toki always wanted. In the name of Apollo Justice will go down in Korean's history. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Oh Naruto, before I forget, there was something I wanted to give you before I head back home. You wish to give me something? Yeah. That I do. Yes, a stock is Sportison. I think you should have this. Yeah. I believe that this one belongs to you now, Naruto. So take that! This is Toki's I have to get back to the States, and I know you abuse security and all, but as the man that's going to send school in, it's only right that you have it. This sends school in? Yeah, in darkest place. Yeah. And you can think of it as a memento too. Apollo, I am afraid I must refuse your gift. But why? What? Why? There is something I would like to show you. Huh? What's this all of a sudden? Mr. White, won't you and your friends please join us? So? Okay, what is this about? Okay, what are we doing here? May 19, former Satamati Love Officers. Så vad är det Binkos här nu ute? Apollo, I want you to stay here in Kuyain. Oh. And what is the reason for that? What? But why? We have lost our king, our queen, and our kingdom stands at a crossroads. Most of all, we will need to rebuild our entire legal system. Ah, I see. So that's how it is. You want Apollo to help you with that? Not really. That includes the introduction of lawyers to the court. Wait, you're not asking me to? Well, I actually believe that Apollo is perfect for the job. Yes, I want you to take over this law office. With you as a lawyer and me as a prosecutor, we shall rebuild Kuoin's legal system from the ground up. You want me to help you rebuild the legal system? That's a lot to take in. Apollo, I cannot do this without you. As a lawyer, you are darkest spiritual head that having started in America. Your legal knowledge will be indispensable. This is way out of my league. Now, Apollo, I think you will do fine. The revolution is still in its infancy, but it was took steam to restore the legal system to its rightful state. Will you not help me realize that thing? It's up to you, Apollo. Come on, Eiji. You know it's what talking what I wanted. Let's do it together. You must be taken aback by my sudden request, but please give it some thought. Of course, I'm honored that you asked. Still, I have my job back at the right. Anything against it to consider too. Don't you worry about that, Apollo. Yeah, I think White and Athena will do just fine. Besides, this is something only you can do. Yeah, even I agree that Apollo is needed. Something only I can do. I mean, to be completely honest, our office would be a bit sort of firepower without you, Ion. But hey, Mr. White, actually, I'm sorry, but I can't get on board with this. Athena, I mean, there's still so much I want to learn from you, Apollo. That's right, it won't be the same without you. And everyone back home would really miss you too. There's no way I can agree to this. Let's leave it open to Apollo. Still, if you really wanted to stay... Yeah, Athena's right. It won't be easy, but... Athena, do you see? Apollo, no one but you can make this decision. Not that I will not question whatever choice you make. Our flight leaves tomorrow morning, Apollo. Think you can make up your mind by then? I'll try. Talk about a difficult decision. When I wonder what Apollo will pick. So I go back to the US and continue working at the right anything I can see? Or should I stay in Korean and help out I build the legal system? What's the right thing for me to do? Yeah, Apollo didn't exactly get the easiest one here. My 8:00 a.m. Temple. The bus to the airport will be here any minute. I wonder where Apollo is. Do you think he decided to stay here in Korean? Well, we'll see soon. I bet he was up all night thinking. This is a life-changing decision after all. But whatever he decides, I'll have to accept it. I guess this means no more Gotium battles alongside him. Hey guys! Oh, I know that booming voice everywhere. I made it. Apollo, you're here. Does this mean you're coming home with us? Well, about that. So, what's your decision? Mr. White? Yes? I've made up my mind. Here it is, the moment of truth. I still have so many things to learn from you. But I've decided to stay in Korea. I'm gonna be honest, I was actually hoping you would say that, because I do agree Korean needs you right now. You staying? But I feel like I have to pick up where Toke left off. I can't let his sacrifice go to waste. I see. Plus, I want to teach Otis everything you've taught me about being a lawyer, Mr. White. Apollo? Toke's youth map for the future. And you these things, I believe that these few things will save the people of this kingdom from 40 on years. I want to do this. No, I have to do this. Apollo, I will never felt Piotr. Piotr have had such an amazing attorney working on the me. But someday, I'll get on to the US. Once the new legal system is firmly in place, I'll be back. Scoot's honor. Will we really see you again, Apollo? You bet. Not that I have any idea how long it'll be, but I promise you this, everyone. I'll keep on learning and growing, and I'll come back to the US an even better lawyer. So don't you forget about me. Of course we won't, Apollo. There will always be a spot waiting for you back at the office. In the meantime, we'll be rooting for you, so knock 'em dead. You got it, Mr. White. I'm gonna miss you, Polly. But if this is it, then I'm going to support you so it all the way. Thanks, Josie. Good luck with your magic act. I know you'll do to become my Piotr. I'll be singing for you too, Apollo. But don't think you're the only one with room to grow. The next time we meet, you probably won't even recognize me. Ha ha ha. In other words, game on. You bet, and I'm gonna win. I'm going to miss you too, Apollo, but I can't wait to see where your new adventure will take you. Well, that's our boss. I guess this is it, Apollo. I'll never forget everything you've done for me, Mr. White. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Has to see you back in the US again someday. Until then, you know where to find me. The legacy of those who came before us is handed down from parent to child. That it is, and from master to student too, and from mentor to disciple. We must never stall or stagnate, but continue to grow and change. All that we've been taught, the beliefs and convictions that have been passed down to us, we must continue to nurture them so we, in turn, can pass them on to the next generation. That must is true, yes.
本当にこれでよかったんですか？
ああ、いつかこういう日が来ると思っていたんだ。
あ、来たみたいですよ。
これでよし。うわあ、いったたたたた。
Oh, you please.
行くである。
Yeah, it seems like it's going good for them. And we actually get to see Naruto smile. Yeah. Toka's evolution was a big success. Dock, your team have finally become a reality. And with this, we finally done with it. Oh wait, hang on. Jag bättre lätt att du var när givet det. Okay, so it becomes a bit hard to eat and speak at the same time. When I get the sense, I will speak my thoughts at all. Well, you've always been good at being a guy. Well, they are all good ideas, actually. No surprise there. Yeah. Emma's help will be appreciated. Oh, you please. But how's it going for the yes? And that is. Oh, oh, you please. Oh, thoughts. Use the thoughts being the thoughts. Well, I can easily see, yeah. But yeah, Athena will be fine. You so love to think. Okay. Do not think beats homemade food. Or you have? What do you mean? Okay. But is it really giving too much away? Because it didn't really give too much away for me. So you're gonna become an archaeologist in other words? Well, oh, so you finally the head? And how do you plan on doing that? Okay, but how do you wanna revolutionize the Kuya in Venus? Oh, you Yaifa. Well, you are, yeah. Yeah, the new Nyla. I can't really see anyone wanting to become Yaifa's Naina to be frank. Oh, no, don't worry about it. It is used the way she is. So, she isn't looking down on you or anything. That is just the way she is. Okay, who are you speaking with? Oh wait, I think I know who it is now. Apollo Smoother. Anyway. Okay, now I can finally talk about it, so... Well, vi officially done with Apollo Justice Trilogy. And it was actually a really banger. I dare actually say that it might even be better than the original trilogy and the great as a Saturn trilogy even. I used to wish that Athena could get her own game, but someday it might happen. Regardless, considering the fact that I'll be going on a 1-week hiatus soon because of Spain, being able to finish a game before my hiatus is actually quite nice. And also, so if you remember, because I did tell you about this, I think it was last month I told you about this, but since I am making up, I am preparing to make changes for my contents and I have already done some, so I'm not gonna replace this with anything else. Instead, now my main games are only gonna be Xenoblade X and Tales of Cold Steel 4 for now. And then it will get used to one, because I do feel like it might actually be the best for me if I only have one main game for 2 seasons. One, I can put more dedication than to start the game. And 2, it also gives me more space if I ever feel like streaming something else besides my main game. Because I have said it before, but I have been thinking of trying to plan so to different angles so it doesn't used to become the same. But regardless, once I'm done with Xenoblade X and the Tales of Gold Steel 4, I will be playing Investigations 2. So that's something to look forward to in the future. But anyway, we finally done with the Apollo Justice trilogy. And I finished saying what I wanted to say right on time. Damn, Mr. White, I can't believe it's already been a fair month since I decided to stay. I'm sorry I haven't been good about keeping indoors, but things have been really hectic. Rebuilding a legal system I'm not yet familiar with has been a real challenge, but I will say it's given me plenty of work to keep me busy. Well, it's good to hear that Apollo's doing good. Have you not given the other Safari report even a cursory glance, Mr. Eustace? Ahaha. It's just I have 15 clients on my plate right now. Damn, aren't you popular? The 5 probably shouldn't have accepted all 15 at the same time. Well, yeah, that's on you. Please, are you going to help me rebuild Kuroin's legal system or not? If you are, we need to move to this case backlog faster. Yeah, I know, but besides, those 15 are only the beginning. There are 10 more awaiting your services. Huh? I do have friends and acquaintances seeking legal representation. And being that you are the only lawyer in the county, I told them to contact you. I estimate it will only add about 16 clients to do your case load. Huh? No, wait just 1 minute. I have been handing out advertisements for your new office. They from legal advice to investigating extramarital affairs, even Jack Milkin. For unlimited time only, the services and more are free down at Justice Law offices. So you mean Apollo isn't even gonna make any money from this? I have already received a request from 380 new clients. Oh boy, I'm glad I don't have to go to for these cases. That is to say that I'm glad that I don't have to put up with this. I'm going to have to say something, aren't I? Have we go with the classic one? Hey, I just did your Swords of Steel exercises this morning. Well, go on. There's no need to hold back. Ha 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 ha! Now that you mention it, we have yet to hold your sword today. Yes, and I have grown quite thirsty from these tedious proceedings. I could use a little something to wake me up. Do not disappoint me, Hornhead. Well, Apollo, there's really only one thing to say at a time like this. Is what I've said countless times in my career. But one day I'll never die of objection! That was a good one. And with this, that's gonna be the last objection for quite a while. Anyway, wait, hang on, what's this? Wait, hang on. What's this I'm seeing? Well, anyway, so I did finish the game, so... Well then, let me use the Saints quickly here. Okay. Closing the game, there we go, and I'll be doing this. So, like I mentioned, so I'll be going to Spain at Wednesday, which means I'm not gonna be streaming for the rest of the week. So the next stream is gonna be when I'm back to Spain. So I do hope you all will enjoy yourself while I'm gone. And well, I might be posting pictures from Spain at the Instagram. It may be a bit at Blue Sky, but mainly at Instagram. And I will always be at the Discord and social media. So everywhere I'm at Spain, you will still be able to keep in touch with me. But anyway, so if you wanna follow me at social, here you go. And do feel free to join my Discord. And now, if you aren't subscribed, you can use TC8 messages. Oopsie. Otherwise, you can use this one. And now, I'll be seeing you all next time. Good night, Uyatsumi.